Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be reacting to Jarvan IV, the Exemplar of Demacia, for the very first time. If this is your first time here on the channel, what we normally do is we look at the biography and story first for the champion. We'll move on to any little cinematics that Jarvan might have. We'll take a look at his gameplay. We'll look at the skins and the wiki after that, and then take a look at the voice lines at the very end of the video, and I'll have everything chaptered out at the bottom if you want to skip ahead to any of those parts. All right, I mean, there's a little bit I know about Jarvan, but not much. Obviously, Jarvan is the current ruler of Demacia. Is it king? It is king, right? Of Demacia. His father was murdered. I do know that. By Katarina, right? Like, she's the one that killed him. Other than that, I don't really know too much about him, other than obviously Demacia and just what Demacia represents, right? So let's go ahead and dive into Jarvan. His quote says, "Words may make a ruler, but only actions make history." Oh, that's a badass line from a king. Role is tank. Okay. Region Demacia. And related champions, we have Garen. Shyvana, we have not reacted to. Xin Zhao, I believe, and Lux as well, which we haven't reacted to those either, but we have reacted to Lux. So yeah, honestly, the only one we've reacted to in here is Lux, which obviously just makes sense. Okay, moving on. So the paragraph says, as the king's only son, Prince Jarvan is heir apparent to the throne of Demacia. Raised to be a paragon of his nation's greatest virtues, he is forced to balance the heavy expectations placed upon him with his own desire to prove himself on the battlefield. An exceptional warrior in his own right, Jarvan also inspires his troops with fearsome courage and selfless determination, raising his family's colors high and revealing his true strength as a future leader of his people. But as of now, right, he is the current leader in the lore. So when this was written, it was obviously when he was just prince. So, all right, let's move on to the biography. Soon after King Jarvan III's coronation, he addressed the people of Demacia. Even though there were still many foes beyond the borders of their proud kingdom, several of the noble families had begun to feud with one another, some even raising private militias to seek the favor of their new king. This would not stand. Jarvan would not allow such dangerous rivalries to develop and declared his intention to end the feuding by marriage. His bride, the Lady Catherine, was much beloved by the people, and courtly gossip had long held the two shared some secret fondness for one another. The bells of the great city rang for a day and a night in celebration, and by year's end came the announcement that the royal couple were expecting their first son. But all joy was forgotten when Catherine died in childbirth. The infant named for his father's line was declared heir apparent to the throne of Demacia. Torn between grief and elation, Jarvan III swore never to take another wife, and that all his hopes and dreams for the kingdom's future would live on in his son. With no memory of his mother, the young Prince Jarvan was raised at court, groomed and guarded every moment of his life. The king insisted that he receive the finest Demacian education, learning from an early age the moral value of charity, the solemn burden of duty, and the honor of a life spent in service to one's people. As he grew, he was also introduced to the history and politics of Valorant by his father's seneschal, Xin Zhao. Hailing from distant Ionia, this loyal protector taught the prince about the world's more spiritual philosophies as well as the myriad arts of war. Okay, so that's where we finally get this champion introduced to us, because we have not been introduced to Xin Zhao at all. During his military training, Prince Jarvan found himself facing a brash youth of the Crown Guard family named Garen. The two were of similar age and became a quick pair. Jarvan admired Garen's sheer determination and fortitude, and Garen looked up to the prince's tactical instincts. When Jarvan came of age, his father rewarded him with the honorary rank of general. While it was not necessarily expected that the heir to the throne would take to the field of battle, Jarvan was determined to prove himself with or without the king's blessing. The lands beyond the Argent Mountains had long been contested by the Empire of Noxus, creating an almost lawless frontier where foreign reavers and warring tribes threatened many of Demacia's allies. The prince pledged to bring stability back to the region. His great-grandfather had been slain by a foul Noxian brute many years ago, talking about Scion, right? In the first clashes between their nations in the south. Now that insult would finally be answered. Jarvan's armies won victory after victory, but the carnage he witnessed in the outlying towns troubled him deeply. When word came that the gates of mourning had fallen, he resolved to drive onward into Noxian territory against the advice of his lieutenants. Inevitably, with the battalion spread so thin, Jarvan was encircled and defeated by Noxian warbands before he even reached Travail. Refusing to surrender, the prince and a handful of other survivors fled into the forest, only to be hounded for days by enemy scouts. Eventually pierced through his side by an arrow, Jarvan collapsed into the shade of a fallen tree, where he drifted in and out of consciousness. He was devastated. He had failed his family, his kingdom, and his brothers in arms. Doubtless he would have died there alone were it not for Shyvana. Oh, this is now my also first time having Shyvana introduced in any of the lore for champions we've reacted to, so cool. This might be kind of like a good segue to go maybe into Shyvana or Xin Zhao after this. This strange violet-skinned woman somehow carried Jarvan all the way back to Demacia to the old castle at Renwall, where she proved herself a kind and worthy companion during his days of healing. At first taken aback by her outlandish appearance, the garrison commander could not deny that she had done a great service to the throne in saving Jarvan's life. Yeah, I had no idea. Okay, to be honest with you guys, I kind of thought the way Shyvana looked, I thought she was maybe an evil character, but I don't know. All right, unfortunately, Shyvana was herself being pursued by the monstrous elemental dragon Yiva. When the castle's watchman spotted the beast on the horizon, Jarvan saw a chance to redeem himself. As Shyvana prepared to meet the beast in the skies in her half-dragon form, the prince limped from his bed to marshal the garrison and reinforce the walls. He took up his lance and swore that they would return to the great city with the head of Yiva or not at all. Wow, what a badass. Okay. The battle was swift and deadly. When his men were driven in fear from their posts, it was Jarvan who rallied them. When they were wounded, it was Jarvan who directed healers to their aid. Fell creature was slain by Shyvana, but it was the prince's leadership that had held the line. In that moment, Jarvan saw the true strength of the Demacian people, standing together as one in defense of their homeland, no matter their differences or misgivings. He promised Shyvana that she would always have a place among his guard if she so chose. With the dragon skull in tow, Jarvan journeyed to his father's court in triumph, Shyvana at his side. Though the king was overcome with emotion at his son's return, some of the gathered nobles quietly questioned the wisdom of allowing such a creature to stand with the prince, let alone serve as one of his protectors. I was going to say, when are they going to start questioning Shyvana? I mean, as Demacia is, right? Like, they don't like any magic users, and I would assume Shyvana is kind of basically the same thing. Even so, Jarvan resumed his position within the military, also playing a key role in stately matters beyond the defense of the realm. With his friend Garen, now sword captain of the elite Dauntless Vanguard, and Shyvana and the Renwall veterans training other border garrisons, the prince felt assured that Demacia could answer any emergent threat. But the kingdom itself was changing. The Mage Seeker Order had gained support among the noble families, leading to widespread imprisonment of anyone in Demacia possessing magical talents. Okay, so here we go. Fear of persecution quickly gave way to resentment and finally rebellion. When mages attacked the great city, Jarvan was distraught to discover that his father, the king, had been killed. Although the prince's political stance toward mages had hardened significantly since then, he has yet to fully allay concerns over his suitability to rule. As such, he has taken the counsel of many prominent nobles, including Garen's aunt, High Marshal Tiana Crownguard, and pledged to heed their wisdom and experience in the days ahead. For he must examine his own conscience and allegiances carefully if he is ever to come into his inheritance and be crowned King Jarvan IV of Demacia. All right, initial, just thoughts on reading about Jarvan. My mind just immediately goes to Game of Thrones. It feels very Game of Thrones to me, like just the inner workings and just, obviously we're not getting, if any of you have watched Game of Thrones, there's a lot of rivalry and just politics going on between different houses and things like that, which there isn't much of that in here, but it's just the whole idea of his father gets murdered. Now he's up to be a king, and then there's all this rebellion against mages happening in the city, and then he's also a soldier. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of elements there that remind me of Game of Thrones, which is really cool. We did learn quite a bit here because this, like I said, I'm going in blind here. I may have remembered that his mother died, but I'm not sure about that. I knew his father died or was murdered, and then all this stuff here with Shyvana, Jin Zhao teaching him the ways of arts and Ionia arts and stuff like that, and fighting, and then Shyvana being basically his right-hand person almost. And then, obviously, I think I knew that he was friends with Garen, which just makes sense. I learned a lot in just this biography. All right, next up is the story, and it is called Ivory, Ebony, and Jasper. General Mizar slid an ivory cone across the map. Jarvan wondered at the simplicity of the white piece. No head, no features denoting a face. Just a simple rounded shape, neutral and plain, with no resemblance to the 100 Demacian soldiers it represented. If we lead our knights south now, we can attack the Argoth head-on before they reach Evanmore, said General Ibel, a stout woman with commanding eyes. The Argoth are fiercest in swarms, said General Mizar, as he paced the length of the tent. They rely on overwhelming numbers to defeat direct attacks. If we cannot divide them, they will slaughter us long before we reach their queen. Jarvan strode to the edge of their tent, parting the fabric and gazing out across the valley. He might have enjoyed the view. Morning light made the verdant landscape sparkle with dew, and the village of Evanmore looked peaceful from a distance, but an ominous gray shape swelled on the horizon as the horde thundered in the distance. The Argoth were not enormous creatures. Fighting one alone would be easy enough, but in large numbers, they were subject to the dominating will of a queen, able to move and fight as one vicious unit. Well, who are the Argoth? I've never heard of them. This swarm was bigger than any Jarvan had seen before. Mizar wiped sweat from his brow. They'll be here by this evening. Sooner, said Ibel. We have an hour, maybe two if we're lucky, until the Argoth overwhelm Evanmore. Jarvan turned back to the map. 10 ebony cones representing the Argoth stood at the outer edges of Evanmore, overshadowing the single Demacian cone. Queen was marked by a smaller figurine of red Jasper right in the heart of the ebony mass. Any charge would need to fight through hundreds of Argoth to get near her, said Jarvan, gesturing to the redstone. What do you propose? Mizar halted his pacing. I'm afraid you won't like this, my lord, but we could retreat. Surrender Evanmore. Return on the morrow with forces strong enough to cut through the horde and slay the queen. Leave Evanmore to the Argoth, asked Ibel. That's a death sentence for these people. They will be overrun in a matter of hours. Jarvan stared at the Ebony and Ivory until they merged in his mind's eye. All he saw was the Red Queen stone. Ibel raised her eyebrows. You see something? A desperate plan, Jarvan replied, but it is all we have. We conceal our fiercest fighters within Evermore and lay an ambush. With such a small band, they won't anticipate our attack. Then when the Queen is within reach, we strike hard and fast. With her death, the swarm's unity will be broken. So is it like a insect kind of like enemy? I'm not sure what's going on. Into the center of the Argoth, my lord, Mizar said. That too may be a death sentence. But we give Evermore a chance of surviving the attack, said Ibel. No plan is without risk, Jarvan said. I will lead only those willing to join me and will not engage until our hope of victory is greatest. We bide our time until the eye of the maelstrom is upon us and then strike from within. With the Queen dead, it will be a simple matter to fight our way out. Ibel slid a single ivory cone to the village on the map, then moved the circle of ebony pieces forward until they overlapped Evermore entirely. The Jasper Queen stood at its center. With a flick of her finger, she tipped the red stone over. That done, she slid 2 more white cones to join the fight. This is our plan, said Jarvan. Ibel and Mizar, you and your troops will lead the second wave. Aye, said Mizar. And you, my lord, Ibel asked, where will you be? I have a queen to kill, Jarvan replied. Very cool. Basically, just a little bit of a short story. Just seeing, you know, it was mentioned in the biography, but basically he has like really good tactical instincts. And this is where we get to see Jarvan be a general in a sense. So, you know, he's kind of a Nepo baby in the sense like he was given this general status because obviously he's the son of the king, but he's actually showing up here and showing how he actually is a pretty good general when it comes to tactics. And I also assume in combat as well. All right, everybody, let's take a look at his abilities in game. The champion spotlight is very old for him, so we're just going to look at the abilities. So role is fighter tank, difficulty medium. Starting off with the passive, it's called Martial Cadence. Jarvan's first basic attack on an enemy deals bonus physical damage based on their current health. This effect cannot occur again on the same enemy for a few seconds. Okay, so just bonus damage. First up is Dragon Strike. Oh, that has some range. All right, that's his Q. Jarvan IV extends his lance, dealing physical damage and lowering the armor of enemies in its path. Additionally, this will pull Jarvan to his Demacia standard, knocking up enemies in his path. Okay. I think that the most notable thing here is lowering the armor specifically of enemies. Then we have Golden Aegis. So we have kind of like a support ability here. It's his W. Jarvan calls upon the ancient kings of Demacia to shield him from harm and slow surrounding enemies. Oh, slows as well. Very nice. Next is Demacian Standard. So this is what Dragon Strike is referencing. So Demacian Standard E. Jarvan carries the pride of Demacia, passively granting him bonus attack speed. Activating Demacian Standard allows Jarvan to place a Demacian flag that deals magic damage on impact and grants attack speed to nearby allied champions. Oh, that's a very unique ability. I feel like I haven't seen anything quite like that. So not only does it give him bonus attack speed, then you get to place a flag down that does damage, and then it helps out allies as well. So he's almost kind of like a support. Like, I know it says role is fighter / tank, but he almost has some like kind of support-ish abilities in here, especially that one. And the ultimate is called Cataclysm. Jarvan heroically leaps into battle at a target with such force that he transforms the surrounding area to create an arena around them. Nearby enemies are damaged at the moment of impact. Okay, so it's literally an arena. It doesn't show if you can like destroy the arena or somehow get out with like a flash maybe or something, but literally like it's showing that champion is stuck in the arena with him. Very cool. All right, I kind of like Jarvan because of the fact that he has a different kind of weapon, right? He has this lance, which is pretty cool. I don't think we've done any champion that's had a lance so far. And then I feel like these abilities are pretty unique in a sense, especially Demacian Standard. Cataclysm is kind of your typical ultimate where it's, you know, you trap somebody within like a ring or whatever. But the shield's pretty good, but it's also kind of typical as well. Dragon Strike is pretty nice as well though too. So I think the big specific thing here is that it lowers the armor of certain enemies. So that's pretty nice. All right, you guys will have to let me know though how good Jarvan is in the game. Let me know if he's in the meta right now or if he's just not that great right now. All right, so far as I am seeing, folks, there's not a lot of cinematics or like trailers for Jarvan. I know he's an older champion again. I've picked another older champion, so he won't necessarily have too much content for him, but you know, I really wanted to get to Jarvan being the king of Demacia and stuff, so I thought he'd be pretty important. So we do at least have a Legends of Runeterra reveal, so we'll take a look at this for now. I didn't see a login screen. I didn't see any other cinematics. I didn't see a Wild Rift trailer. So yeah, this is what we got.
For my father, the king.
Okay.
Stand with me, brothers.
Oh, here we go. 6 mana, 5/3. He has barrier. When you attack, pay my cost to summon me, challenging the strongest enemy. Literally just when you attack, pay my cost to summon me and challenge. Okay. And then level up when allies have survived 4+ strikes from enemy blockers. Okay. Kind of like a general level up. So he has barrier, which is nice. I was going to say that 3 health is kind of low. But okay, the barrier's gone now. So I want to see this level up animation.
For Demacia!
For Demacia, and he does his ultimate and dives in. Cataclysm. Cool. Okay, so it's the same thing when you attack. We have the summon. Round start, create a fleeting cataclysm in hand. When I challenge an enemy, give me barrier this round. Oh, and he's a 6/4 now. Cool. I thought that was a pretty cool level up, actually.
Such providence to be blessed.
Oh,
with a
King
son
Jarvan
so
III.
noble. I am only what
Oh,
you
when
made
he's
me,
played
Father.
draw King Jarvan, or draw Jarvan IV. Cool.
We, Knights of Demacia, for the king!
There's Cataclysm. An ally starts. Okay.
To the flag!
To the flag. Rally around the Demacian flag. Finding a lot of Shadow Isles creatures.
With me!
I did notice that the King's stats were lower than Jarvan IV. Probably because King Jarvan III was old, you know? Makes sense. Okay. All right. If any of you are playing Legends of Runeterra, please let me know. He seems like he's pretty okay. He doesn't really, I don't know how he synergizes with maybe other champions necessarily, but I'm sure there's probably something in the game that you could synergize with Jarvan. You guys let me know. All right, let's get into the skins. Let's look at the original design for Jarvan, and then we'll look at the rest. Okay, so here he is. I've always thought, kind of, honestly, that the shoulder pauldrons, I've seen Jarvan, you know, in like other little videos or whatever. I always thought these shoulder pauldrons were kind of like just too much. I don't know. And I don't know what the explanation is behind the shoulder pauldrons, because I guess maybe that's probably hand-me-downs from maybe previous kings, or I don't know. It's just Demacian royalty, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. So maybe I would like to actually see the shoulder pauldrons be smaller in some of the future skins. So let's go look at those. All right, next is Commando. You know, the Commando skins I've always been like, about. Okay, so the lance is definitely changed. That's okay looking. See, look at the shoulder pauldrons in this one. It's just two guns. That is the goofiest thing I have seen yet, I think. And then he has two more guns down by his ankles. That's so funny. You know, it's a skin. All right, next is Dragon Slayer. Ooh. Okay, see, like, they're trying to give him these, like, ginormous shoulders, but it's just not, like, these two on the back, I actually am not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And the helmet looks kind of goofy, too. The weapon looks okay, and the dragon armor looks kind of okay as well. But yeah, you know, these first couple of skins not doing it for me. Then we have Dark Forge. It looks kind of just like a variant of the dragon one a little bit. The helmet is, I think, even worse. The weapon's okay. The armor's okay. There's the giant shoulder pauldrons again. I guess that's just going to be a staple of his look, really. But yeah, we got to get some better ones here. I feel like I'm trashing somebody's favorite Jarvan skin. We'll see, though. All right, Victorious. I've liked some Victorious skins, but this looks like it's an older one. You know, it looks a little better. I don't know how I feel about the hair. The hair's kind of crazy. The shoulders are okay. Like, I think we're going in the right direction with the shoulders here. The weapon looks cool. And yeah, I see, like, this is a little bit more Demacian to me, like traditional Demacian. I don't know how I feel about that golden armor he has in his original. All right, I promise I'm gonna like a skin eventually here. Okay, Warring Kingdoms. Okay, we're getting a little bit better. This looks kind of cool. He looks like your traditional kind of like Ionian kind of character here with this armor and the hair and everything like that. The weapon is cool. The armor is cool. We're heading in the right direction here. We do have a chroma. Okay, to give it more of like his original golden look. I think we're going in the right direction. Let's keep going. All right, we're not even halfway, guys. We're definitely going to find something. Next is Fnatic. So Fnatic Jarvan. You know, this... It's not the greatest. All right, next is Darkstar. Okay, here we go. Darkstar skin. Yeah, see, okay, this just looks way cooler. Even though, you know, I did say the shoulder pauldrons were way too big, but that is definitely just a staple. Oh, even the black and red looks really cool. The weapon is nice. The overall design of Jarvan looks cool. Sure, it doesn't necessarily look exactly like Jarvan anymore. It looks like a Darkstar entity more than anything. I do like this skin, though. We finally did it. I mean, League of Legends was a different game back then, right? Like before it had the visual update and everything, so it makes sense. All right, next we have SSG. Ooh, I don't think I've never seen this splash art before. Maybe I had to have because of Zion Rakan. I just don't remember it. All right, SSG. How are we looking here? The blue, I kind of like this light blue. It's kind of fun. The shoulder pauldrons are just not, you know, it's not doing it again for me. The weapon is kind of cool. I do like that. It's like a sword and a halberd at the same time. Other than that, it's a little basic with some random stuff, I feel like. Hex tech. Okay. Hex tech Jarvan. Didn't see that one coming. Something's going on up here. I think it's the collar. The collar's too much. He can't even look over. He can barely. It's like a little kid sitting in the passenger seat. Can't even look over the front. He can barely peek over it. The weapon is very cool though, and I don't mind this. It actually kind of like the armor and everything kind of reminds me of like a, I don't know, for some reason it gives me StarCraft or Protoss a little bit from StarCraft. But I do like the armor actually a lot. I just don't like the collar. It's kind of killing me. I feel like I'm being so harsh on Jarvan today. I had a good day today, okay? It's just these skins. Okay, pool party. Here we go. This can't let me down, right? Like, this looks good. Is that a Heimerdinger? Oh my goodness. Does Heimerdinger have a 6-pack down there? All right, moving on. Let's see. Pool party, a bunch of chromas. Okay, he's got a giant beach umbrella. I'm fine with that. And he's got floaties. He's got the I think they're just, I don't know what they're exactly called. They're just called floaties, right? For his shoulder pauldrons. I like that. I think that's kind of fun. And he's got the goggles and the snorkeler. And we got different umbrella designs. Okay, yeah. See, this is fine. This is good. I'm enjoying this. Although the umbrella, oh, I like the watermelon one. No, okay, we like this. Moving on. All right, Lunar Beast. Okay. What do we got going on here? Ooh, okay, it's giving kind of like future ninja kind of look a little bit. I love how they always want to give him like some sort of horns or something. See, this is what I'm talking about with the shoulders. See, this is very minimal. He's got maybe like this little thing here and then the little golden like bowl or whatever that is on the left-hand side. Same with the weapon. The weapon is actually super sick. Let's take a look. I don't know if I like, the only thing that might be pulling me back a little bit on this one is that it's kind of just like streetwear. Like, I guess I have like some of them before with the streetwear, but maybe I'm just not feeling it with Jarvan. It's not bad. This one's a maybe for me if it's in my top 3. This one's kind of a maybe. I do like a lot of aspects of it, but I think I like Pool Party and the other one better. 3 more. Worlds 2021. Let's take a look at this. This might be good. Ooh, this might be good. The weapon. Okay. The armor. Okay. The shoulders, I like, they're cool, but they're also like too much at the same. I don't know. I think I'm just losing it. Oh, see, like this looks good. The black and gold looks kind of good. Black and the gold looks kind of good. You know, what's killing me about their shoulder pauldrons is not even the head of whatever it is, like the dragons or whatever. It's like the curvature part here. I don't like it. Everything else is really cool. Okay, let me think about worlds first. We'll come back. Maybe. Nightbringer. Oh, this already looks really good. Okay, yes. That looks cool. Yes. He's giving kind of like a darken. Oh, okay. The textures are erroring out. I don't know why, but they are. He's kind of giving a darken, right? A little bit. And that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like this. I wish the models weren't messing up every time I click them, but weapon is really cool. You know, I mean, the weapon gives darken a little bit. I mean, he looks evil for sure. Do I like the shoulders, right? We got to pay attention to the shoulders here. See, we got the one big one, but you know what? If they did the one big one on the other side too, it would not have been as good. So I think this is a good one. Last but not least is Mythmaker. Okay, I like Mythmaker. Let's take a look. These are good. Let's see. Oh, we got a little snake on top. The shoulders, okay, while they're both big, they're not too over the top for me. The weapon doesn't stand out as much as I would like it to. He also kind of looks like puffy in the chest here, doesn't he? He looks kind of wide. Dude, I don't know why I'm so critical of Jarvan's skins today as I'm recording this. You know what? The colorization's really good, though, on this. All right, I've already decided. I've decided my favorite skin. My top 3, anyways. I do like this one. It's not bad. It's pretty cool, actually. I like it. It's actually pretty vibrant. I like the colors on this because of how vibrant it is. All right, here we go. Easy peasy. All right, everybody. Top 3 for me. This is going to go pretty easy. We got Dark Star for sure. 100% love the Dark Star skin. 100% love the Pool Party skin. And you know what? For the last one, we are picking Mythmaker. The biggest thing about it for me is kind of the colors. It has a lot of bright colors in it for the chromas. It kind of stands out amongst the group. But I think the majority of Jarvan skins, I just kind of was like, I don't know. They weren't, you know, we have all of these old ones here. They weren't really working for me until we got to Darkstar, and then it kind of like fell off a little bit. But yeah, overall, I think he has okay skins. I think I'm just being very picky today. All right, trivia. Jarvan IV was first mentioned in Urgot's lore. Oh. A tab for Jarvan IV can be faintly seen at the top during Maokai's art spotlight. In-universe Demacian naming convention does not mirror real-life's European royalty and nobility's naming convention, as the current Jarvan should not have gotten the regnal number, the 4, before his coronation. Oh, okay, I see. So he would technically only get that after his coronation, okay? The terrain created by Cataclysm is made of 24 minions to make sure that no one can squeeze through the wall. Wait, literally? Is that still the case today? Like, just from a developer standpoint, it's literally just 24 minions to make sure they can't. Okay. The old visual effects of Golden Aegis was once made up of little ghosts due to being a recolored copy of Death's Caress. Okay, so that's old ability stuff. All right, let's move on to the wiki. Take a look at the wiki. I did notice on the right that we have like several different artworks for him. So we have like the main, we have armored, we have training Jarvan, and then there's actually 2 little artworks for when he was young as well. Real name, Jarvan Lightshield IV. Aliases, the Exemplar of Demacia, King Jarvan, General Jarvan, the Honor-Bound Prince. Anything else? Born around 970 AN. His weapon is called the Drakebane. Ooh. Romantic interest. It says Shyvana is a lover. Hello, hold on. Is this something that I did not know about? Is this something? Did I miss something? Right here in the wiki, it does say Shyvana is a lover. You know, okay. Jarvan's kind of a freak. We got it. Family. We have Jarvan Lightshield III, Catherine, and then Jizao is adoptive uncle, and then yeah, great grandfather and grandfather. Okay. Yeah, the wiki's looking a little light, guys. We don't even have appearance in here. We don't even have personality. We don't have abilities. We don't have background. So if you are watching this, please go fill out the wiki for me. Or I guess technically for future people that go into the wiki. We're just going to go into relationships, I guess. We have Jarvan III, Lightshield. Jarvan III is the father of Jarvan IV and is the former king of Demacia. His lineage can be traced even further back to his great-grandfather of Jarvan I, the first king of Demacia, who was killed by Sion during the decisive battle for Noxus. Then Jin Zhao, Jarvan IV sees Jin Zhao as his uncle. Okay, I could see that, sure. Silas of Dregborn. Silas is looking to overthrow and kill the Demacian elite, including Jarvan. Jarvan IV was almost executed by Silas and now is chasing him, believing Silas is behind his father's death, although the king was already dead by the time he was found. Well, we do know from reading the Katarina comic that that is not Silas's doing. All right, Garen. Jarvan IV and Garen have known and become friends with each other since joining the military at a young age. And then Shyvana. Jarvan was saved by Shyvana after escaping and later helped her in slaying her mother, and out of gratitude... Oh, that was her mother? That's also something not mentioned. And out of gratitude, she earned a spot in the Demacian elite guard. Jarvan mentioned he loved someone that wasn't so different from the mages. It was later revealed to be Shyvana. Okay, well, how was it later to be revealed? I guess maybe this might be in Voicelines. I'm not sure. All right, Luxana, Crown Guard. Jarvan IV was arranged to marry Lux by her family to protect her from being persecuted for being a mage. As queen, she would have been too powerful to accuse. After she didn't show up for the betrothal ceremony, the matter was apparently dropped. I don't think I remember that from Lux's lore, but there you go. And then we have Tiana, Crown Guard. After his father's death, Jarvan is counsel of many prominent nobles, including Garen's aunt, High Marshal Tiana Crown Guard, to prepare him for the days ahead before he can be crowned king. I wonder if we'll ever get Tiana Crown Guard added into the champions list. I don't know how they'd have to make her different, but they'd obviously have to make her a little bit different than some of the other Demacian characters, you know, like Fiora and Garen and stuff. They'd have to do something different. All right, looking at the content, we have the Exemplar of Demacia. We did not read the short story Aftermath. We did read Ivory, Ebony, and Jasper, and then there are some Lux comics. And then there is the game, The Mage Seeker, which is the Silas game, right? You guys will have to let me know if I should, I know this is a Jarvan reaction, but you guys will have to let me know if I should read the Lux comics and do a video for him. All right, trivia. Jarvan IV is around 26 years old or a similar age as Garen. Oh, wow, young. Okay. He was around 26 years old during the events of Lux comics. He was 6 years old during the events of What Once Sailed Free. Jarvan IV's spear, Drakebane, was crafted by a Demacian weaponsmith named Orlan, the same one who crafted Poppy's hammer. I was going to say I know that name, and it's, okay, the guy that crafted Poppy's hammer. Jarvan III's flavor text in Legends of Runeterra implies LeBlanc may have been involved in Jarvan's capture by the Noxian army. Okay. In the old lore, Jarvan IV's blood was used by Swain. Oh, this is the old lore. It was used by Swain, his nemesis, and Vladimir to resurrect Sion. How they would have gotten the Exemplar's blood was never explored. LeBlanc is theorized to have impersonated Jarvan IV in order to cause a war between Demacia and Noxus. Okay. So that's the old lore, though. All right, yeah, I guess whenever somebody has a chance, if you are watching this video, please go in here and add some more information reputation for Jarvan IV. He kind of needs it desperately. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm liking his character and lore and everything so far. As you know, the most prominent high ruler of Demacia. He should probably have some more lore, don't we think? All right, let's dive into the Legends of Runeterra cards, special interactions, and then we'll move on to League of Legends. Here we go.
I dub thee Sir Poro Lightshield.
Oh, Plucky Poro. Okay. Jarvan sounds older than I thought.
Even our Poros want to fight.
Because he's supposed to be like Garen's age, right? Like 26. And I feel like Garen doesn't sound this old, but okay, let's keep going.
Hail to thee, Emperor of Shurima.
My respects to your family, Prince Jarvan.
Oh, I didn't know this was a kind of friendly exchange here. Okay.
Bow or die, Emperor.
As I say
Your
that.
experience will be your downfall, little prince.
Yeah, Zir would win that
I am
one.
Shurima's dawn.
Then I shall be its dusk.
Okay, good
A shame your
response.
pride wouldn't let you bow to my father.
When I buried him, you will bow to me.
Ooh,
Barrett, did my father send you?
Barrett.
He did indeed. I see you've made friends.
Oh, I like Barrett's
Prince
voice.
Jarvan, the Vanguard is here for you.
You are a sight for sore eyes, soldier. To arms!
Okay, he's giving basic Prince voice lines right now.
How will my people remember me? As a just king and a devoted father.
I wear the crown.
Very loyal
and
son.
bear its burden.
Father, are we to spar again? My king, victory is near.
Then lead our soldiers to it, my son.
Okay.
Our enemies will know fear, father.
Teach them respect, and perhaps peace will follow.
I'm liking the father-son
I've
dynamic
got my
here.
eye on you.
Just one. You light shields never learn.
Ooh.
You. Who are you, Willie?
Why spoil the surprise?
I have heard of your deeds,
Oh, has he? Okay.
We're the what, but not the why, Princeling.
That's true. That makes sense.
You have my banner.
My prince, how did you escape?
Save some for you, Sivir. Fighting, I mean.
Fighting's a means to an end, but I'll take it.
I like that we're getting some interactions with more champions than I kind of expected, but we're not getting his interactions with other Demacian people yet,
Sivir,
really.
From one heir to another, I'd like to...
Save your graces. I'm here for the pay.
Move along, scavenger. There's nothing for you here.
Hardly. Ever heard of a king's ransom?
I'll handle this myself.
Jarvan's very, like,
You will
stoic,
die
I
where
feel
you
like.
stand, Darius.
He's not showing, like, crazy emotional range or anything in his voice lines, but I feel like that's giving, I don't know, a prince. I feel like he's not really, like, he's being, like, kind of a stoic person throughout all of these voice lines. I can't really explain what I'm trying to say, though.
Juggle for me, Jester, and perhaps I'll spare you.
Oh.
I am more than I seem.
Oh, Shyvana?
You taught me that when you saved my life.
Oh,
Dragon
as I
blood.
say that, you could tell the voice change there a little bit when he's talking to Shyvana.
Blood Demacian heart.
Our people will accept you.
Like he's lowered
I'll
his
see to
guard
that.
a little bit, maybe.
Let the bloodshed begin.
What does he see in you?
By my
What does he see in you is referencing Garen. Okay.
hand will Noxus rise.
And by mine will it fall?
Wait. We have to talk about that because hold on. That means the boys are talking. The bros are talking to each other. Garen says, I got a crush on Katarina. And Jarvan's like, what, man? Really? All right, let's roll back this one real quick, though.
And will Noxus rise.
And by mine will it fall?
Okay.
How many
I mean,
innocent
if we ever get the day where Noxus and Demacia are at war,
lives has Noxus claimed?
How many have died for Demacia? For you.
oh, I'm sorry. LeBlanc kind of got him there.
Father! No!
Okay.
Perhaps they realize they've already lost. Prepare yourself. We move soon. Fine work, soldiers. Fine work. Raise our banners. Demacia prevails.
Okay. He's not
Sound
like
the
Garen
retreat.
when he yells
Prepare
Demacia.
for tomorrow. Tend to the wounded and pray for the fallen.
He seems like he's a very good leader, though. Like, out of all of these voice lines, like I said, he's very stoic. He definitely seems like he will be able to be king or, like, be a good king for Demacia. And the fact that he's a little bit, like, weary about the whole, like, mages thing. And, like, he obviously wants people to accept Shyvana. and he didn't really want Lux to die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he seems like he's going to be a good ruler for Demacia. But, you know, we need more kind of that lore of him and his rule right now in Demacia. But again, I think these voice lines were really good. I'm surprised we don't have a voice line with like Garen or Lux or anything in here. Maybe it'll be included when we check out the wiki. But I did like seeing, you know, like my first initial thought right here between Azir and Jarvan was like, okay, this is like two different leaders, you know, like I guess real world example, two different leaders of two different countries communicating together, and they almost seem like they're kind of like allies. He's saying hail to the Emperor of Shurima, you know what I mean? Like they seem friendly here. And then obviously we have the enemy arrives version. And then we have the enemy arrives version, but still. The way he talked to his father, he obviously looks up to his dad, the way he led Demacia. And he's definitely taking some notes from that. He's keeping an eye on LeBlanc. And then, yeah, the first thing I noticed when he spoke about Shyvana, you could tell his voice changed a little bit. And maybe he just got a little bit more softer with his voice or more vulnerable. But yeah, I guess that they were pretty good voice lines. I'm not expecting a lot of like humor or anything from Jarvan. I am expecting just like a very serious kind of person. So I wasn't expecting anything crazy. All right, we do have a couple more. I forgot to go through these, so let's do that.
I will bleed for my subjects as they would for me.
Perhaps you will understand a ruler's sacrifice, Prince.
Right.
Such providence to be blessed with a son so noble.
I am only what you made me, Father.
Okay.
Are
Look
you
at that.
ready to lead, my son?
I am ready to try, Father.
Wow.
The meek do not deserve to rule.
I do like
And
their
the
relationship.
dead cannot.
They seem
You
like
are
they had a really good father-son relationship, right? And you can't take that for granted, I feel like, especially in
Thank
League
the
of Legends.
protector.
Thank your soldiers, Father.
My son, what are you doing?
Father? No, this isn't right.
Guards, arrest this imposter!
Oh,
Is that you, Father? I don't understand.
that's kind of cool that they did voice lines for him on the other side, just like as an enemy.
Prince Jarvan, you must come with me at once.
Barrett, let's see these fools off first, huh?
My grace, I didn't
Prince Jarvan! Thank goodness you're all right!
Steady yourself, Squire. There is fighting to do.
Okay. Somebody killed it on the artwork for Penitent Squire, I'm going to be honest. All right, that looks like it covers all the voice lines in the special interactions video for Skin Spotlights. Let's go take a look at the wiki and finally do the League of Legends voice lines as well, which I'm pretty sure are going to be old ones only, but let's take a look. All right, let's go through these, see if we missed any. So we have the summoned voice lines.
For my father, the king. Words make a ruler, but actions make history. Stand with me, brothers and sisters. I will fight for Demacia till the day I die.
Yeah, I mean,
Demacians, fight for your king!
you know, they're very, you know, general, like a general of a army kind of voice lines here. Okay, we have an Irelia voice line here.
Join us, Prince Jarvan. Dance by our side.
I'm afraid I was born with 2 left feet. It's a light shield thing.
It's a light shield thing, really? Is there, okay, I guess is this just mention of this now, or is this mentioned anywhere else in lore? That's kind of interesting. So I guess Jarvan light shields cannot dance, or just light shields can't dance, I guess. All right, we have one with Pike.
Never killed a prince before, far as I know.
Nor will you.
Oh, hey, that's finally a good comeback from Jarvan, I feel like there. All right, we have one with the Azir.
Demacia's prince, Shurima's emperor.
An alliance of steel and sand, Azir.
Yeah, see, okay, I do like that. And I remember, I think, maybe when I did Azir's lore, forgive me, I don't exactly remember, but I do think I remember reading that like Demacia and Shurima were kind of like in the talks of an alliance, or they kind of had one already, or at least there were like friendly talks, right? So you guys remind me if that's true or not. We have another Plucky Poro one that was missed.
Ha! Even our poros want to fight.
Are there Poros in Demacia? I figured they're all just in the Freljord, to be honest. All right, we have ability effects and like level ups and all these other little voice lines here, so let's go through them.
To the flag!
This is ability effect, both gaining or triggering barrier or generating a cataclysm.
No quarter! With me! Ours is but to do and die.
You know, I'm getting like kind of the same vibe that obviously like Darius kind of had with the Noxus voice lines for him, or the Darius voice lines. A little bit different because I think Demacia is a little bit different, obviously, or quite a bit different.
Fight on! For Demacia!
Ah, there's the for Demacia.
Soldiers of Demacia!
But, you know, they're kind of the
Stand with
same
me!
kind of style of voice lines.
We fight till we're ragged! Then we fight again!
But I feel like Darius's were a little bit on the meaner side versus Jarvan's is kind of not that would be, I think, the big difference.
Behold Demacian might! Steel yourself, soldier! Remember what you fight for!
Right.
Demacia!
Ah, another Demacia.
For the king!
I wonder if him and Garen just yell Demacia together ever. Like, I need that voice line somewhere.
Once
Or like
more,
in a cinematic.
soldier of Demacia! Our steel will stand firm.
I'm actually surprised in the Warriors cinematic that Jarvan wasn't just there with Garen and Lux and Galio. You would think they would just maybe have him there. I don't know.
Protect the faithful.
All right, attacks declared.
Forward! Odds be damned. Providence guide me.
And then block declared.
Who dares defy my will? You face a prince. Away with you.
I like this one when he'll say you face a king. That'll be better.
Leave this place.
And then we have his death.
For the king. Demacia.
Okay, he's not just groaning and grunting, but we do have one there. We have removed from combat or play.
You turn your back on a prince?
Huh.
I trust you'll enjoy your latrine duty.
Latrine duty. Okay, we got a little humor there out of Jarvan. Brought back to combat or play.
I will proudly serve. If my father wills it, so shall it be done.
And then victory.
Fine work, soldiers. Fine work. Raise our banners. Demacia prevails.
And defeat.
Sound the retreat and prepare for tomorrow.
Okay, prepare for tomorrow. At least he didn't lose all hope.
Tend to the wounded and pray for the fallen.
Yeah, he's very just your typical general kind of character. I thought maybe we'd get a little bit more out of him with like, I guess we did get a little bit more out of him than I kind of expected. And again, like I said, I didn't think we'd get any humor or anything out of his character, but you know, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the League of Legends voice lines and see how different those are though. All right, let's start off with the pick sound. Okay, that's gotta be Cataclysm.
By my will, this shall be finished.
That's a pretty good line.
Who dares defy my will?
Oh, same as well. That's a pretty good one. All right, let's go to the moving voice lines.
Protect the faithful. For my father, the king. No quarter for the wicked. Find me greater foes.
The voices sound a little bit clearer in this
Who
one
dares defy my will?
than Legends of Runeterra.
Stand with me, brothers and sisters. Demacia, now and forever.
Demacia.
Today is a good day to die.
That sounds like something from somewhere. I feel like I've heard that before.
We shall rest when we are dead.
Okay. And then we have his taunt.
Fetch the rest of your team. I'll wait.
Well, that's a decent one. Okay.
You like my weapon? Come on over for a closer inspection.
Oh my, I feel like Garen gave him that one.
Demacia, get some!
Okay, Garen definitely gave him that one. Or they both cooked up both of these. They're both pretty bad. All right, moving on to his joke. It says, Jarvan IV stands as if giving a rallying speech, but accidentally crushes his toes with his lance and hops on one foot.
Sunder any army. Crumble any
Oh,
mountain.
no.
Leap the Oh, my toesies.
My toesies?
Awareness is the
I've
key to
never
victory.
called them my
Be
toesies.
sure you never let your guard down.
I mean, to be fair, hitting your toes or stubbing your feet or toe or whatever on anything hurts so bad. So, you know what? I don't blame him. We have Jarvan's laugh. It's kind of a gross laugh, I feel like. For someone that's 26, he laughs like an old man. I'm just saying. All right, basic attacking. Just some grunts. And then attacking.
I love a challenge. Purge the unjust.
Purge the unjust. Oh, you know what? How am I just now thinking that Jarvan kind of gives like a paladin kind of character? I guess Garen gives more paladin than Jarvan, but they're both kind of paladin-esque in a way, right?
Topple their forces. Righteous retribution.
Oh, like exactly right there. Righteous retribution. That's exactly what a paladin would say.
Ours is but to do and die.
Okay. And then we have ability casting. So we're starting off with Dragon Strike. Just some grunts. Demacian Standard. How many times or how many different ways can one grunt, I guess? Using Cataclysm.
Demacia! Demacia!
How many different ways can someone also say Demacia? Is that all of Garen's voice lines? Does he just say Demacia over and over? Okay. And then we have his death. Oh. Oh, the voice actors really putting in the work here. Hey. This voice actor is putting in work on these deaths. Hold on. Let him cook. Like the scream and the hyperventilating. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. The end was a little goofy. All right, that's it. Let's look at the trivia. Today is a good day to die. References the phrase spoken by either Crazy Horse or Sitting Bull, popularized by Star Trek. Oh, see, I feel like I heard that before, but I guess I wasn't thinking of Star Trek. Ours is but to do and die references The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson. I haven't heard that. And then For My Father the King references Arthas Menethil from Warcraft. Ah, yes. I've seen, like, there's a World of Warcraft cinematic I've seen where he does say that. Okay, cool. This was a good time. I feel like Jarvan IV is somebody that we really needed to get to because Demacia is such an important part of Runeterra, and Jarvan is literally one of the most important people in Demacia. And I know we're not necessarily going to Demacia next for our next, like, Fortiche or / Arcane show or whatever. I think it's going to be Noxus personally, but who knows? It could literally be Demacia. I think Jarvan not having like so much crazy lore about him, it's kind of pretty open. That show would be a great pivotal point to add a bunch of lore for Jarvan and Demacia, I think in general. You know, we did get a little bit of lore here. We got, you know, there's the talks with him and Azir. We got to see kind of like there's, you know, a little bit of an alliance between Demacia and Shurima there. And then we did get to see kind of some voice lines between him and his father. So we got to get an idea of how the relationship was between father and son, which it seems like it's a very good one. We didn't get anything with Garen, surprisingly. We're just told in lore that they're basically pretty much best buds, which I would, you know, that just makes sense, right? They probably have the same ideas. Although Jarvan IV, you know, as a ruler, he seems like he doesn't care as much about the whole anti-mage stuff as Garen might, right? And then we also got to see the relationship between him and Shyvana just a tiny bit. And I know Shyvana is one of those other champions that doesn't necessarily have too much lore about her. But again, that would be something that they could add a bunch of lore for in the show or just down the line. Yeah, I think Jarvan's pretty much in a good place for more lore to be added to him, right? I don't think they've written him into any sort of dead end or anything like that. They could add a bunch of lore to him, and I think they will need to. Like, if anybody's going to be getting lore at some point in the future, I would put money on Jarvan because he is just one of the more, like, he is the most important character, I feel like, in Demacia. I know, obviously, like, Lux gets a lot of love, so she gets a lot of skins and a lot of, like, lore and stuff. Silas is kind of one of them. You know, there's just a lot of other champions in Demacia. I understand that. But he is the ruler, right? Like, he is the next one in line to rule Demacia. So it would make sense for his character to be kind of the one to get a lot of lore here in the future. In terms of the voice lines and everything, like I said, it was giving a lot of like kind of how Darius was, kind of how a typical general would be, kind of how a typical prince would be. And I think that's fine. You know, they're not obviously going to be as exciting as Aatrox's voice lines if we were to compare voice lines or anything like that. But we're not even here for that. We're really here just to learn the lore about the characters, get a little bit of insight into the way they think and kind of like where they might go in the future and how important they might be in the future, which I think Jarvan is going to be one of them. You guys tell me if I'm totally wrong, though. I could be completely wrong, and you guys are like, Riot doesn't give a crap about Jarvan. Like, he's stupid. They might even just kill him off later in the future, right? I could be totally wrong. So I had a good time with this one, guys. Again, let me know in the comments who I should react to next. I always want to hear from you guys. Any feedback or anything like that. Yeah, please leave that stuff in the comments. And please leave a thumbs up on the video so other people can see it. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.